Everyone, this is Adam with MotorChimp, aka used to be called AdamsAutoAdvice.com. Today I'm just testing out doing live streaming, kind of getting my bearings down with doing it. Figure there's only one way. Gonna probably start trying to do these weekly or bi-weekly. Um, Quick update with the channel. Yeah, I made that video how to replace a car battery 13 plus years ago, maybe 10 years ago, and now it has almost 1.9 million views, which is pretty cool when I think about how many people learned to replace their car battery from watching that video. It's just mind blowing. The reason, though, I didn't really continue with doing more auto repair videos is it's very time consuming to do all the setup. So first of all, you have to need to do that job. You got to have all the shots kind of set up. When you're making it. So it does take a lot of time. What I'm looking into doing now is one, hiring an editor, and two, using now AI software to speed that stuff up. So there will be some more like basic auto repair videos because I think there's a lot more I can do with the channel. But also, I'm gonna start doing things like this, just talking about the day-to-day of the auto industry and things that are going on. So one thing that I've noticed recently is that auto batteries have really shot up in price. You're talking about just like basic auto batteries for Hondas, Toyotas, Chevys, Fords. Minimum price for a decent, say, like mid-tier battery, I'd say is going for about minimum 200 to 250. And then if you want to beefier battery that's going to last longer, you're probably looking to spend about $300. And I know that because I'm currently working part-time in an major auto parts store chain, and a lot of people come in every day and they need a new battery, and they're basically like shocked by the cost. But this is something that's been going on now with inflation all across the board in the US and other countries. Things have just shot up, and specifically auto batteries are super, super expensive. So I'd be interested to hear you guys' thoughts on that, how you feel prices on not just auto batteries, but other auto parts. Like how do you feel when you go to, say, rockauto.com or Amazon or, maybe one of the major auto parts chains? Like, how are you feeling when you look at these parts prices? Because they have gone up quite a bit. It is quite impressive. Yeah, and if anyone has any questions, just leave them in the chat, and I'd be happy to answer them. Let's see, close. Is it just me? Live chat. I don't think there's anyone yet, but yeah. So that's the first thing: is auto batteries are insanely expensive. The other thing that I'm seeing across the auto industry, from independent dealers, conglomerate dealerships, like big chains which have a lot of operations in a lot of states, in addition to like just in small mom and pop shops, or even like repair chains, is that they're desperate for auto techs. There's a couple of reasons that have gone into the, I'd say, lack of people going into the automotive industry as repair technicians. And a big reason is a lot of people have been warned not to do it. And people that are good at fixing cars can go do other things like HVAC, electrical. Those guys are good with their hands doing other things that probably earn the same amount of money or better money doing other trades. Now, for those that aren't aware, that are watching this, there's essentially two ways technicians get paid. One is something called flat rate. So flat rate is a system where if you do a job, you get paid a set amount of time for that job. So let's say a brake job takes 3 hours on a Jaguar, and you do it in one. You get paid for that 3 hours by the dealership to do that brake job on that Jaguar, which is awesome. The problem comes into when that book time on the job doesn't really reflect how long it takes, or the car could have a lot of underlying issues like rusted bolts. Things weren't put together on the car very well initially. So trying to take things off and put them back on is more of a headache. So if it took you 5 hours, you're still getting paid for 3. So that is a big reason why a lot of auto techs aren't getting into the industry. You see older auto techs leaving, people mid-career, they're going to do other things that I talk with. Now, the second way to get paid as an auto tech is regular, just hourly pay. And hourly pay is really only applicable if you're working in, say, a fleet, as a fleet mechanic for, say, trying to think, like USPS. I notice is always hiring mechanics because they have a lot of vehicles that they use every day and they want to upkeep those. You also have like places like FedEx, UPS, Amazon. Sometimes they hire mechanics. Sometimes they're contracted out. But generally, being a fleet mechanic is considered better by most of the technicians I've talked with and know, because the pay is steadier. You're usually getting the same types of vehicles. If something needs to be done on the vehicle, it will be done immediately by the company, or because they need to keep those vehicles running because it's a business imperative. They can't have breakdowns, right? It's not like retail customers. So those are essentially the two ways that most mechanics get paid. You could do flat rate, which isn't great for most people. And that's why you see a lot of people have left the industry. In general, also, you have, I'd say, like, honestly, the old timer kind of boomers, people, guys in their 50s, guys that run shops have kind of a very bad attitude about the way they run their shops. So it's caused a lot of technicians to essentially leave the industry and be like, yeah, I'll go somewhere else and do something where I earn better money. I don't have to listen to this BS. And yeah, there's kind of a culture issue, I think, in the auto tech industry as well, which has caused a lot of people to leave. Looks like we might have a question from Aussie50, and then transmission for the rest of the week, laughing my ass off. Oh, that 4-day diagnostic job. Yeah, man. Yeah, so you're saying you don't really get paid to do diagnostics, right? So it's like a electrical issue or something. But yeah, that's another thing I didn't really touch on. Diagnostics can be like touchy if you get paid for that or not. Different dealerships have like different policies on that. Generally, the answer is like, no, you don't get paid for doing diagnostics, and then usually it's a waste of time because oftentimes the customer says no. So yeah, that's why you see a lot of auto techs have left the industry, and it's becoming a bigger problem because, like, I get a lot of outreach from dealerships still, and they're like wondering if I want to go work for them, and usually the answer is like, well, yeah, I could work in parts or finance, but I don't want to work in your auto tech division because I see how many jobs are open, and I know how shitty it's going to be for somebody there, which is essentially why I didn't really continue with doing auto tech. My background is I went to community college to do auto technician, their general program. They also had like Toyota, GM. I think maybe Ford is at the local community college as well. Probably should have started off doing Toyota, honestly, if I'm being honest. Specializing in the brand, if you're going to do it, is the way to go, and actually doing luxury cars. But then I went and got a diesel tech certification through a workforce development program. The problem is when I got out of the program, I didn't realize, excuse me, most diesel tech repair shops, they're working on big like trucks. So they need you to have a CDL to move the trucks around. And if you don't have one, you're kind of screwed. The program didn't really tell any of the guys that. And after I had got out and was looking for a job for a while, I realized, oh, okay, I need to go try and get a CDL. What basically happened was, at the time, this was a long time ago, I think it was about $6,000 or $7,000 to go do a CDL program. And kind of the option was I could go do that or get tools. And I decided to just buy more tools at that point rather than go get a CDL, which I honestly didn't think I was going to use. So, but yeah, that's another thing with these repair shops. They have sometimes like ridiculous requirements. I mean, that's something you see in other job postings in other industries as well. but they can essentially say, oh, we want someone with 5 to 6 years of experience, and we're paying like 20 an hour. And that guy's probably thinking, well, I got like $15,000 worth in tool loans. I should be making like 30, 35 at that point, or whatever the market rate is. But most of the technicians I know have gone from dealerships, so that flat rate model, to fleet mechanics. And if they haven't done that, they've gone to some other field, essentially, where they can use their knowledge and use kind of their hands-on skills and knowledge in some other trade, which is useful. So anyway, see, do we have anyone else? Yes, so true about diagnostics. One question somebody had the other day was like, what is it like working at an auto parts store? And I basically said 80% of the job is really just looking up parts for people and then them saying that's too expensive. So that could be like commercial shops or even retail customers, and they're just like, oh damn, that's too expensive. I'm gonna go try and find it cheaper, or I'll wait to do it. For batteries, though, the reason I kind of led with that is oftentimes somebody needs a battery right then, that 200, 250, which is a lot of money for some people, especially in this economy and with inflation. That can be a huge issue for them to try and buy a battery at that point. So, yeah. And then another person asked me why I decided to change from Adams Auto Advice to MotorChimp. I think Adams Auto Advice doesn't really work if I want to expand the brand and maybe include other people later, or I want to do some other things, maybe just besides auto stuff. And that doesn't necessarily mean non-mechanical things, maybe just things with like EVs or motorcycles or things like that. And I thought maybe having a more general brand. I'm still kind of looking for something to upgrade with. But anyway, Aussie, you got any other comments or questions? I don't know if he's still here even. Let's see. But yeah, I'm just testing out live chat, seeing what it's like, testing the mic, and but yeah, so that's kind of just what I wanted to touch on today. Auto batteries, parts in general, are really expensive. You've seen a huge dearth, exodus of auto technicians from the industry. And I mean, I could honestly talk about all the reasons for that probably for hours, but people would just get bored. But I think the main things, are just general attitude of these shops, dealerships. The pay is not very good, and technicians are tired of getting treated like shit, and they want better benefits and pay. I actually was talking with a friend of mine who used to work at a dealership, and he said he had heard that the Cadillac dealership that he used to work at increased their hourly rate to something like $220, $240 an hour of what they're charging customers. I was like, geez, that's a lot of money. And he said, how much do you think is going to the technician? I said, I imagine if you're a master tech, it must be at least 40, 50% of that, because that's what it used to be if you had like all your ASC certs. And he said, yeah, no, they kept essentially all the pay the same. So most of the like master techs left, and the corporate guys at the dealership had shocked Pikachu face and were flummoxed by it. And it was like, yeah, what did they think was going to happen there? It's just crazy. Yeah. Auto industry changes fast. Electric vehicles are the new thing. Flying cars are like the biggest hype now. I'll check that out. Weber Auto. Is that a channel? I've never heard of it. Let's Google that. Weber Auto. Yeah, electric cars are becoming a bigger thing. There's actually a charging station outside my auto repair store that I work at. And it's interesting seeing how many. Yeah, that is a channel. It is interesting seeing. It's actually in use all day, those chargers, because it's the only charging station that is available when you get on the highway for quite a bit of time. So there's always people charging there all day and night. generally. Oh, this looks pretty. This looks like a pretty interesting channel, man. Thanks for the suggestion. Wait, welcome to the web. Hey, I'll share screen actually. How do I share screen? There we go. Weber Auto. Yeah, this is a pretty cool channel. Thanks for the suggestion, man. Yeah, I don't know. Welcome to Weber Auto. Davis. Just help the apprentice transfer special auto. Oh, okay. So it's an auto tech college in Utah, probably community college. Contain highly technical electric vehicles. Yeah, automatic transmissions. People who rebuild automatic transmissions, those guys have to be really smart. They need to kind of understand fluid dynamics, and there's like lots of little parts and special stuff. Not something I'd ever want to do. Honestly, I've rebuilt engines with other guys before, and even that's pretty complicated. But yeah, EVs are the future. Most people don't realize it, but electric motors are much more efficient than a ICE engine, internal combustion engine. They're less complicated. You don't have to do oil changes. You don't have to deal with coolant, which is pretty nice. I will say one of the common misconceptions, though, I hear about electric cars and electric vehicles is that they don't require fluids, which is not true at all. They just they don't require engine oil and coolant. You still need .3, .4 brake fluid or .5 synthetic brake fluid, gear oil. So they still need fluid. You just don't need to do oil changes on them, which is still a plus, I think. But yeah, this looks like a great channel, man. I'd never heard of it. There's like 500 hours of video uploaded to YouTube every minute, so no way anyone's gonna ever be able to watch or check out every single channel. But no, this is great. I've actually been wanting to learn more about electric vehicles. Do you work on electric vehicles yourself? I'm seeing anything, but yeah, but I actually had a electric motorcycle, which I stupidly sold about 2 years ago. I'm not going to go into it, but I was having some vision issues due to a accident that I'd had. So, but yeah, I'd say never sell your motorcycle. Transmission. How to use a transmission dipstick? Yeah, simple videos like that, where it's like how to replace a car battery, how to check a transmission dipstick, how to check your oil. Those are things that I'm going to be trying to be doing. It's just very time consuming to make these types of auto repair videos, honestly. And not only just time consuming actually making it, but then the editing portion. But like I said, I'm probably going to try and offload that to an editor or start. There are now a lot of cool AI programs for editing together things. Sometimes I've tested them out. Sometimes they work good. Sometimes they don't. But yeah, this is a very cool channel. Fusion hybrid transactional removal. Oh, they actually show how to remove this battery.
Which 2024 Mazda SUV is an IIHS top?
Hello, I am Professor John Kelly, and this is the Weber Auto YouTube channel. In this episode, we are going to be removing the high voltage lithium-ion battery from a brand new 2017 Chevrolet Volt. We bought this Volt specifically for research for our automotive program here at Weber State University. So the first thing we're going to do is to go through the high voltage disabling procedure to get ready to remove this high voltage battery. The 12-volt battery in an electric vehicle or a hybrid electric vehicle still connected or disconnected. We can check for voltage,
pretty cool.
Not on the harness, ready to take the bolts out that hold it to the vehicle.
To check out actually going to that school. That looks really cool, man. Really appreciate the suggestion. Definitely, yeah. If you're looking to get into the industry as an auto tech, clearly that's a great channel. Actually, let's link it up, man. I don't think anyone else is watching. Yeah, put it here. Put it in the chat. Yeah. Very cool channel. Very cool channel. Yeah. If I was to actually get back into the industry as an auto tech, I would probably focus on electric vehicles. One, because that's the future, and two, they're just a lot cleaner to work on. You don't have fucking oil on them everywhere. I shouldn't swear. You don't have oil all in the engine, which is like honestly like 70% of the cars, or they would just have rusted out stuff. So yeah, usually I don't know if the Bolt. I assume the Bolt has regen braking, but yeah, also like the brakes last longer because they have regen braking systems. So, but yeah, Weber Auto. This is really cool. Weber State, is that a community? Let's see if this is a community college or not. Department of Auto. Let's see about. Thanks. Program. Oh, this is actually a state school, so with a 4-year degree. Interesting, huh? So it's not a community college, it's actually a state school in Utah. That's really cool. I didn't even know they had programs, 4-year programs for automotive technology. Mostly all the programs I know of are 4-year degrees, so really interesting. But yeah, it looks like they have a very good training and program there. Carbon and electric vehicle. Yeah, see, they have a GM program there too. Boot camp. The automotive industry is going electric. Oh, these are online. I probably want to do the in-person one for this type of stuff. Very best.
Funding for Utah Insight is made possible by viewers like you. Thank you.
Coming up on Utah Private Partnership, making hybrid and electric vehicle boot camp poised to redefine the future of transportation.
We're going to need a 10 millimeter to disconnect those.
Under the expert guidance of Professor John Kelly,
Let's lift this cover off and see what's inside.
famous for the Weber Auto YouTube channel with nearly 500,000 subscribers, the university opens its doors to students and professionals from all over the globe.
It's fun to have people come and appreciate the work that you do.
There's nothing wrong with the battery itself. It's just
For an entire week, participants are immersed in the intricacies of servicing,
if coolant comes out, you know you got an internal leak. We never want.
diagnosing, and repairing a vast array of electric and hybrid vehicles.
There's very few places that have the vehicles and the tools and equipment that we have here.
Current sensor, interlock circuit.
So coming here to gain more knowledge on it and take that information we learned from here to implement
Yeah,
into
this
our
looks like a really cool program. I think I actually may need to go reach out and maybe get some training through them because you know, everyone says you need electric vehicle and electric car training, but there's not a lot of places that offer it. Even the local community college here, you know, I know some of the instructors that have come and gone there, and they're great guys, and they say the same thing, but they don't really know where to find those resources. And clearly, this Weber is the place. So, yeah, great resource. Great resource. I might need to reach out to them. I'm thinking about doing some podcasting in the future, MotorChimp, or I don't know, maybe finding another brand. But anyway, yeah, I don't think I have much else to chat about today. Maybe in the future I can schedule these out sent out to the email list. Oh yeah, if you go to motorchimp.com, put that in the chat. So I can collect emails so I can connect with you guys better. The issue with YouTube now is that even some of the channels that have been around for years with huge, we're talking like 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 6 million more subscribers, you'll notice like the videos that they post sometimes, they don't get that many views because YouTube's algorithm and their game has kind of changed. So now it's not necessarily about, if you build up that following and people are going to keep seeing your videos, you kind of need to always be competing for subscribers on YouTube. So I actually have a marketing background, which is what I did after that Diesel Tech program because I realized that wasn't going to work. Did a lot of SEO, things like that, email marketing. And if I have your email, don't worry, I'm not going to spam you, but it does help me essentially reach out to you guys. I can send you video updates when I do them, general updates with what I'm doing, easier to connect with you, easier to connect with the community and audience here. So yeah, if you want to sign up, that'd be awesome. But if not, totally understand why. But anyway, hope you guys have a great Monday. And if you have any suggestions, feel free to reach out. Would love to hear kind of, you can reach out to me at adamsautoadvice@gmail.com. Any suggestions you have for the channel, things you think I should talk about, things you think I should research, like this electric vehicle channel, didn't know about that. There's always resources, things to learn. I learn things every day when I'm working at the auto parts store. As an example, a guy came in, he had this very high-end Audi car. I think I looked it up. They only made like 100 of them, 2 years ago. And he needed some sort of like VW race engine oil, like the only thing that went in this car. So I Googled it. It's like, oh yeah, like our European 0W40 says it works in a pinch. I said, honestly, if you want to buy this oil, you can and put it in your car, but like, I'm not suggesting that you do because I've never heard of this, but it looks like it will work. So yeah, you learn weird things like that every day. But anyway, you guys have a great week. Have a good Monday. And like I said, reach out if you have any suggestions. You want to see me do different stuff. Would love to hear back from you guys and grow the channel.